All right. Welcome everyone who's on screen, on grid with us. Welcome everybody who's going to see this later on our Tesoro YouTube channel. This is installation, I can't even remember what number of our series, the Aperitif Concerts. I am Stacy Dyson. I am the creator and the lead poet for Tesoro. When I say this about all of our guests, so I don't see any reason to break with tradition now. We are beyond blessed to have Whisper Poet in the house with us today. I'm not going to bore you with my rendition of her bio. I'm going to let her sing her praises her own self. So, um, give us a little thumbnail bio of yourself, Whisper.
Well, I am a little bit of a latecomer to the poetry world. I started doing poetry about 5 years ago when I went through some pretty heavy emotional stuff, and words started just pouring out of me. And from the first poem that I wrote over the course of a few months, I filled a composition book. And then I ended up in a workshop that is put on by Guerrilla Poets and actually Mimosum himself, who is in this room, called Writing for Wellness, and found community, found peace, found healing. And the journey has just been incredibly rewarding. And then near the beginning of this year, I jumped into the Instagram poetry community and have just found so many wonderful people, all of you guys that are here in this room. And it's just been fantastic. And just having a lot of fun and listening to some amazing poetry from some incredibly talented people. And love being in spaces with you guys and just want to keep on that trajectory, keep sharing the love and growing and learning.
So, I'm going to start you off with the first question that I ask everybody, and you can interpret it however it is you interpret it. Why poetry and why now?
Poetry is my favorite art form, not the least reason of which is because it's the only one that I really do competently, but because poetry is the only one that you don't need any lessons. You just need to speak or write, and you create it's just it's innate. If we can speak, if we can write, we can be poets. Um, so that's why I love it. Why now? It has become a part of my bodily functions.
Talk to me about first times. First time you were on stage, first time you were in print, first time you interviewed somebody else. Is there a common thread, a common joy, or common terror? Or what did those feel like for you?
Let's see. First time I was in print. The first time I was in print, I was watering some flowers. My mother was a hairdresser, and one of her clients' husband was the photographer for the Durham Morning Herald in Durham, North Carolina. And it was spring, and they wanted to do a photo shoot of a child watering flowers. And it just happened to be, I guess, on the day that, or maybe the day before, that my mom had her appointment to do this lady's hair. And it all evolved that I was the kid. And so I'm on the front page of the Durham Morning Herald in my little 1970s red jumpsuit with my white patent leather boots, watering flowers. So I think the second time I was in print, actually, that was more interesting. I wrote a letter to the Salisbury Post when I was in fourth grade about the book Flowers for Algernon. If I remember correctly, that book was being banned, and I loved that book. And I wrote a letter of protest to the Salisbury Post in defense of Flowers for Algernon. And so that was probably the more significant first time I was in press, so to speak. First time I was on stage is actually one of my mother's favorite stories about me. As as a young girl, I was in dance lessons, as so many of us are, and we had our recital. And of course, we, come out on the stage, and we're supposed to come from stage right across the front, and then sort of go around in a circle. And I was the third one in line. And we got out onto the stage at the very front, and the girl who was in front froze, and we're just standing there. So I tapped the shoulder of the girl in front of me, and was like, okay, like, here, get in front, like, lead, let's go. And the girl in front was just, I don't know if she was too scared, or I don't know, but she was not listening to me. So then I went around to the girl in the front, and I'm tapping on her shoulder, like, okay, come on, go, we gotta go. And she's just frozen. So I got in the front of the line and was going to lead everybody because I knew the dance. So I start, doing the motions, whatever, and they won't follow me. And of course, as a parent now, having, seen kids programs, I understand why, everybody laughs, because that's really cute when kids do stuff at their little programs. But as a, I don't know, 5, 6 year old, I was absolutely infuriated when they started laughing, because I thought they were laughing at me. And I got so angry, and I put my hands on my hips, and I stomped off that stage. And I remember standing backstage with one of the dance teachers, and her trying to explain to me that they were not laughing at me, they were laughing with me. And I remember telling her, I'm not laughing. They can't be laughing with me, because I am not laughing about this. And my mom loves telling that story. And whoever she was sitting with was horrified, that I did this. This was not correct young lady behavior. And she suggested to my mother that mom should punish me very severely when we got home. And my mother looked at her and said, punish her? Why would I punish her? My daughter is a leader. I am proud of what she did. So that was my first time on stage.
What is the, and this might take a little bit longer than we actually have, but as much as you can encapsulate it, what's the driving force as far as your writing?
That's an excellent
No, I mean,
question.
there are folks who are driven by faith, there are folks who are driven by experience, there are folks who are driven by the hope that they leave something behind them,
Mm-hmm.
in the world. What's the motivation?
Chronicling my journey. Yeah,
Okay.
chronicling my journey. And so you're riding along with me, whatever I'm going through. If I, broke up with some dude, you're there. If I'm exploring spirituality, you're there. If I had a little too much tequila, you're right there with me.
Okay. Um, what's the big dream?
The big dream. I have a mission just to help people, to do whatever good I can do in this world before I check off this rock. And I try to find places where I can be of service, where I can do something good. Of course, I'm involved with Tesoro now. I'm involved with Guerrilla Poets, and have the opportunity to do things in the community to help people. And that's really makes me feel good to be able to do that. Um, I am working on a book project with Catalyst that we intend to print and then distribute free to people who are living in homelessness, as a way to provide a source of happiness, spiritual inspiration, a moment of something to make you smile. And that idea came out of a conversation that I had with someone who was or is living in homelessness. Um, so that's a current project. And there are other things on the radar too, but I keep trying to find ways to put some love and light into the world. At the end of the day, make that tally of good versus evil come down on the side of the pluses rather than the negatives.
Mhm. Performance wise, what scares you?
Nothing.
Really?
I'm not afraid to be silly. I'm not afraid to be a clown. I'm not afraid to screw up. If I screw up, I'll just make a joke out of it. I remember one of the first times that I was on stage doing poetry, I actually read an erotic poem at a adult storytelling event that they have in Charlotte. And I remember being on stage and feeling this moment that you feel when everyone is listening. There's like a quality to the quiet when people are listening to you and all of their energy is connected to yours. And that was the first time I ever felt that. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, I could ask them to do anything right now and they would do it. This is fun.
So you were power tripping basically.
I love being on stage. Nemo can tell you. Nemo is with me a lot of times in performance spaces, and he knows how much I love being on stage. It's fun. I really like it.
Okay. On a little bit more serious tip, what there are people who say that the arts in general and poetry specifically isn't doing anything to affect the way the world is. What do you think? Is it a small effect? Is it a huge effect? Is it what's going to save us? Where are you on that?
They're completely wrong, and they're either blind or ignorant or both. Um, but I have not had this experience myself, but I know Nemo has had people come up to him and say how much his poetry has deeply affected him because he's very open about his journey. So many of us who are going through, I mean, I talk about my failures and my things were also raw and open, and people hear that and they relate to it. And writing is healing, art is healing. I mean, that's exactly what Guerrilla Poets is doing out there in the world, is providing opportunities for people to express themselves and heal through the arts. I forget what it's called, but I know there's research done on it where you express it, you do it in front of people, and it's like a threefold. I forget, I'm not a psychologist, but there's like a research on this that there it is healing. It is healing to take part in the arts. Um, and we all live that journey. I mean, I don't know any of my friends that are in the poetry spaces that um, haven't felt the healing of expressing yourself and feeling the love and the support and the caring of your friends in witness to that. It's
What about
powerful.
the people who aren't in those spaces? Is this what's going to save them?
I think it can. We just have to get them into the spaces where they can hear it and be a part of it.
Um, in the ongoing effort to know more, because I'm interested in the minutia of people. So talk to me about your favorite thing to drink, your favorite thing to eat, and your favorite place to be while you're doing the other two.
Oh my goodness. I love a good cantina. I mean, there is nothing as good as a well blended margarita. I love a margarita and some chips and salsa. That's probably, like the guilty pleasure. But I love food. I love to cook it. I love to eat it. I love to just be there while it's being made. Um, and I love to experiment with cooking and eating. I went to, I went to New York recently to visit my cousin. He was like, "What do you want to do while you're here?" And I said, "I want to eat at every ethnicity of food we can find." And he's like, "Well, you're only here for like 3 days, so that's going to be hard." I said, "I don't care. We can double up on the meals. We'll do six instead of three. I want them all." So yeah, I love food. It's definitely just I'm a foodie.
So it said, well, so while you're doing those things, as I said, where would be your either a place you've been or a place you want to be doing this? If you had to choose one place.
Well, it's so much fun to just people watch, while you're eating. I had a great time sitting in New York at a sushi place. In fact, one of my poems that you're going to hear today is about that experience and just sitting there eating sushi, watching people come down the sidewalk, watching what they're wearing, what they're doing, watching them interact with other people. Um, that's just so much fun. The whole,
So New York is the hot pick
oh,
for
it was
you indulging yourself.
fun. But I mean, like Paris, haven't been there, want to go. Yeah, let's have some beignets and coffee on the sidewalk in Paris on Sunday morning. That sounds like fun.
Girl, book me a ticket right now.
All right, well, let's do it.
So I'm going to turn the mic over to you. And you are going to dazzle us for the next 30 minutes. Do your
Right.
thing, honey.
All right. A letter to the universe for when she sends me a man. I told the universe I have a shopping list and that she best have material whisperers ready at her fingertips when she check her inventory to fulfill my requisition. Now, I have a good job, so I don't need a man to open up his wallet on my command, but what I do require is quality. And I'm not trying to have her pick him out from Dollar Tree. No cheaply made from sweatshop labor that break when I open up his package or play with him, have to send him back for warranty damage. No, I require durability and a reasonable amount of flexibility in his personality and his joints. I have a shopping list. And I'm a picky bitch, so it will be hard for her to find someone who fits that bill who will put up with my shit. But there are a few things to be honest and serious, and I'm not being delirious when I tell you that this is what I want. So here I go. I'll spit it out in no particular order. Please pay me your attention, drop your tips at the door, sit back and let me show you how I roll. Do you fall asleep with my name on your lips? Release it in a sigh as you slip your fingers over my form. Come awake in the night as you grip my hips. Remind your mouth of my syllables when I've got you doing flips. Yeah, sexual chemistry is very high on my list. Do you smile and your eyes go soft when you see a litter of puppies or the first snowfall? Because snow makes you think of me for no other reason than you love me. Do you hold the door for old ladies and give compliments to them? Make them blush, give a giggle, a little flirt so they remember how it feels to be admired, so they know they still have that fire. Do you send me a text when I cross your mind to tell me I crossed it and to remind me that I am thine? I need you to be Cuisinarily adventurous because I cook everything from the dictionary and the thesaurus, and my pet peeve is picky eaters. So when the question of a restaurant arises and you ask me, what do I want? Don't make me filter my options because you don't like curry gorgonzola or kumquats. When it's time to get soapy, you need to plan that it's dual, not as the exception, but as the rule, because I love having my man wash my back and anything else that needs washing or deserves his attention. I need his hands on me, and that's a fact. When we're out, I need him seeing what's all around because I'm always lost in thought. My head is always in the clouds. And even though I roll strapped and can drill a round through your eyeball, I need a man who thinks like a predator. So the other predators see what's up and don't try to test it because I don't want to have to crown my castle doctrine and make them fall. I want a protector who respects my Electra but is always ready to protect me. He better respect my mother and my quirky friends of all labels, creeds, and colors. Love my horses. Love my dad. Love my collection of old shopping bags. Well, he really needs to embrace my mess. I can't ask him to love it. That would be duress. But hey, as long as he's okay with my ADHD all over the place, knitting, poetry, arts, and crafts insanity, start 10 things and finish 3. If he can love me because I'm crazy, then unequivocally we claim each other. Roll hard through the dark and through light. We make each other better. Feed our creative spirits. He loves it when I poet, always want to hear it when I spit. The bottom line, what it comes down to, and the point I've been building up and finally got around to is that I want a man that my name is his breath and my heart is his blood, and we love each other hard and strong as a biblical flood. I am his and he is mine. We've got each other's backs. We are our ride or die on the porch and everywhere under the sun. We are divine in this life and across time. We are fated and destined. Thank you, universe. Please hand me a pen so I can sign for my man because the person in the Amazon van is in a hurry. And to everyone who heard my pen, who was wishing for their own special day or boyfriend, please remember this. You can't manifest it if you don't request it. Talk to the universe and get yours. kiss from the rain. Rain falls soft and warm, singing gently upon my parched skin as I watch the blackness of the storm boil towards me. 2 minutes, maybe 3. The wind rises, and I lean into its embrace and wait for Mother Nature to crack open the geode of her skies. Let the rain fly forth from that crystalline maw of jagged light. Lightning explodes from shimmering teeth, power enough to snap my bones and fry my flesh. Energy rides the air. I turn my head to feel the floating of my hair and breathe it in, that ancient, humid scent of cleansing. I need it like redemption. Come, storm, let the lash of the water rage forth to drench me in the divine. Turn face to sky and throw my arms wide to bear myself to its fury. Saturate me in clean and drown my sorrows. Send my failures away in a flood of forgiveness. I will soak in self-love as the droplets tattoo me in a plit, plit, plit on my lips. Rain is life, and I belong to the living. So let the lightning AED me into a place called healed and forgiven as I shape my palms to fill them with the gleaming cloud gift straight from Zeus himself. Drink it down and feel the grace spread through me to quiet my thoughts. I am alive on this earth, counting my blessings on 2 hands and turning my cheek to receive these magical kisses God has sent me from heaven. Rebirth announcement. And I stood, cradled in the arms of Mother Earth, as she lifted me upon her shoulders, where I could see out across the vista, the deep green of the trees falling away into the valley below, becoming fields and hills, and rising away from me in shades of blue as deep as the ocean, then becoming lighter and lighter the higher my eyes climbed until they reached the sky, where only the sun could say where Mother Earth ended and began. I stood in the still cold of the morning, listening to the quiet, watching the blue cliffs of the snow-covered peaks standing proudly in the sparkling air. I could feel her waiting patiently beneath me. I breathed in a deep lungful of her magic and finally felt my alone. The trees stood witness to my rebirth, guardians towering with branches as arms reaching towards the heavens in triumph in that great vast stillness. Tears came to my eyes, and I let my alone fill me until I was full of its weight. And then it changed. Alone became freedom, and it embraced me in this theater of ancients. It filled me until my heart knew my truth, and I could wrap alone around me and weave it back into myself so that freedom could be present and highest in my heart. I felt Mother Earth breathe, and I heard her whisper into my ear, "Yes, daughter, yes." Poems in my suitcase. Keep my poems in my suitcase. I think I need my thoughts to be portable. If I've learned nothing else since I upended my life the way I dump out my handbag into the floor when I can't find my anything, it's that nothing is set in stone. My bag is designer, but the pile on the floor looks like the dollar store clearance bin. I don't know most of the time whether I'm coming or going, so I keep my poems in my suitcase because I need my heart to be portable. Wasabi wisdom. Sidewalk sushi in New York air, and I'm watching people pass, embraced by old brick arms as birds, trees, and jazz flavor iced cold green tea. Yes, universe, I'm listening Wasabi is a fresh bite of listen up in my nose and on my tongue, stinging me with grated revelations that prickle sleeping sulci. I've been umamified. Inhale and feel the moment root truth slaps my neurons. I am, therefore I think, but just let me feel my way. Salmon skin crunch is sublime on my tongue, alchemying virtue from verisimilitude, epiphany from epidermis. The bike riders bring messages from the divine, delivering bags of truth wrapped up in white paper. Angel wings or bicycle tires, I'd rather have it hand delivered. And the wambulance wails by, there but by the grace go I. God, it's loud. But maybe I require truth by IV. If there's a problem, it's not with my veins. Fate's been running gain on me since before poetry gave me my name, feeding me lines of type O mixed with AB, because I need the one to sweeten what's there to heal the inner me. Message received. And I want to believe I know the difference between acceptance and a clutch play victory reception. Universe, I need you to hold for a moment while I finish this plate, because I think this sushi might be made of truth serum and empathy. Don't force feed. I need to be shown and not led. There's a dove on my plate in the shape of ginger, a sweet pickled smack in my peace of mind. So let me sip that wisdom cup, a few more shekels, because money is time. Neural pathways are forming. I can smell it on the breeze. Time is money. I need another round of fortune cookies. Now, please. Divinity blessed me with knowledge before she headed to Tiffany that I don't need to understand to love you, and you don't need my understanding to receive. We're all in together now, so take my hand. We just need to breathe. Cashmere and tequila. My head is pounding, head pounding, this pounding in my head. A penny for thoughts and a pound of cure is too little too late, because I don't measure in ounces anymore. Don't offer me a penny when my thoughts burn like this. Pay me a quarter and I'll blow my nose instead, because I'm a little stuffy in this dry apartment air. You marinated in my snoring and I slept like the dead on your couch comb 72nd Street bed, where cool white walls ease my eyes into sunshine. I need to rise and shine and pound pavement, but my head, thank God for that painting to blanket the staccato hammer's effect from that cafe of confessions. Yes, and yes to a glass of that Jalisco lemonade, that truth serum we imbibed. And the evening, Manhattan sparkled for us in fairy light, cool and soft as we strolled and laughed. It draped our shoulders gently, a shawl made from angel's breath, hearts connected by blood and the fabric of our lives. And I will always remember the cashmere and tequila last night. Flood rider. Only by the grace of my Piscean birth have the floodwaters of the storms I have survived not killed me. The universe decreed astrologically that I would breathe through being tossed like flotsam on the raging waters of emotional trauma. I can't say that I swam. That would be too elegant a turn of phrase to describe my passage. Sometimes I was forced to swim against tides that seemed impossible to navigate, like a salmon leaping up levels of rocks to return to a once safe haven to spawn and then die. I have respawned myself and looked death in the eye, inhaled the sulfur on his breath, and saw his lust to curate me into his keeping. Once I said no. Once I said please, and then I said no fucking way. Didn't matter. The universe was in charge anyway, and I'm still here, at least for today. From the time I was very young, I had a sense of survival, some innate understanding of the way the world works, that you can skirt the edge and still survive. I wore my skirt with fierce determination, leathern protection from accidental misdirection, and the edge I traversed was sharpened to fine, the sharp to fillet the unwary fish. but ever wary was I, and wary have I remained, of what storms lie ahead, and the knife blades I must dance upon to weather them. The no of me. The no of me could not escape the throat of me when fingers touched the places on me that should have remained untouched. Monsters can only be who they are, and I thought that was true of me too. Maybe that's why now I shoot for fun. I love my guns, take pride in my markswomanship. My throat could not release my no when I was mind conditioned, but I know in my bones, my trigger finger has no such affliction. The importance of flight. Flight found in a rusty swing of an abandoned amusement park. Centrifugal force wants to fling me across the sky in this swing, this seat, this chair, the flying chairs swinging out over the open space, hair in my face off the side of a mountain, as if I am flying out over nothing and all I can breathe is sky. I am bird, feathering the crosswinds to hover. Human eye wants to argue with the impossible feat of suspended animation, but I know the power of pressure to hold me in place, hold me still, take away my nose from the vending machine in my larynx. I stuck a quarter in my nose as a child and it never came out, lodged in my brain like childhood trauma, got my mind on my money and my money in my mind, wishing the quarter would move downstairs to let my larynx open and swallow it whole. But my brain was too young to understand that the quarter never leaves your brain. It simply stays. And there is no answer when you're stuck between a septum and a talk place. My chokeholded nose swallowed me whole, stuck in my throat, and I silenced myself for so many years. Gravity wants to ground me, and for a moment I am other, no longer child, become my alter ego, superhero, weaving clouds with breath to form my cape, and I find my no, shout it loud. I will not let a quarter bind a swing. Swing out wide, feet flying, a double shoestring flag at the claimed country of my independence. I made a stand to find my freedom from the traumas that held me down for so long because it was important for me to fly. Honey and rose quartz. I am crystallized honey and rose quartz, dancing from tip to tip on my cardinal points. The path in my garden of truth is soft. I walk on angel wings and cherub's breath, dancing under starlight. I am cinnamon and cocoa with coffee, black, midnight. I am a single droplet and the ocean where you will drown. Eve's daughter, puddle jumping through wormholes, floating away for too damn long. Now I'm burger queen, bending light my way. I just ground chili peppers into cosmic dust, snorted that shit Pacino style, vibing to my own highest. It's nirvana or bust. You may skip to my loo, my darling, because I'm a live wire, the third rail, a shooting star. I'm your holy grail at night in desert air, mixed with marshmallow fluff. 2 licks are a kick to your head. Eat it or wear it. Just don't ask how much sugar is in it. The Surgeon General declared me a level 1 risk to your health. I keep on ticking, and you best mind the boom, because I might be a Cat 5 teapot, the tsunami rainbow wave of inspiration in my mama's antique brass jam pot. Taste the breeze of my passing, but don't burn your mouth. That pepper is hot, and so is my hand of power. When I touch your third eye, you will know. Use it well. Be all that you are and nothing you are not. I'm 3/4 to the third power still here. And if 25 was the goal, I might cry for a second or two into your beer, but I have too much to do to cry over spilled rainbows. And so I just wanted you to know how good I am. Hit the rim, took a charge, grabbed my own rebound, and flew to the edge of the stars to receive what the divine wanted me to know, that blessings abound, and we are all connected. Yes, I see that road fork coming. I've been birthing self portraits and finger paints made of blood and oils, and I'm ready to lead and be led by my heart and my mind. They're arm wrestling for the ultimate prize of my destiny. No idea who's winning. I turned down the volume, but if you're a betting man, I'd say lay odds on my heart. Someone tried to cut it out, but I said, fuck that. You don't get to have that part of me anymore. Feels so good to belong to me, myself, and I in the hot tub of the universe, snorkeling on stardust. Take my hand and feel the sparks that ignite my blood. The universe has claimed me for its own. Buckle up, Buttercup, if you want to watch me fly. I got four on the floor and nitrous on my broom, and it's going to be a hell of a ride. Jonathan. His name was Jonathan, about 5'7", short, sandy brown hair, and blue eyes with a dilated stare, eyes that showed pain he was trying to hold in, pain that required something heavy to anesthetize it. He was in the entry room of the hotel where I was checking in. My arms were full of bags, busy with the urgency of my pleasurable life. I wasn't expecting Jonathan, and he wasn't expecting me. It was steaming hot in that space, and I could see he had nothing to drink. He just sat and looked off into space, remote. He was fighting his battle in his head, and he was losing the fight. It showed on his face. In the cold relief of the lobby, I searched for water and something nutritious he could eat because room service doesn't deliver to the place out there on the floor, out there in that sauna where the damp heat squeezes your throat and the air grabs you like anchor weights. He had nothing except a zippered folio, and I didn't ask him what was in it. I just sat with him and asked if he had somewhere he could go to rest, to eat, to sleep, because he wasn't welcome inside the hotel with the everyday people. I wanted to dial 0 for some relief for him. Jonathan could have used concierge service, but those glass doors don't park for trash, and he was a nuisance to everyone who came through. I watched them see him, glancing over briefly, then averting their gaze, urgently knocking on the doors for entry and escape from the psychological discomfort of standing near a homeless man. Because, hey, who knows what he might do? And homelessness might be catching. I asked him again, are you okay? And he really couldn't say. Whatever he had taken left him distant. He rambled on, and I gave him safe space. Speak your truth, brother. I'm here for it. He didn't want to be a burden. He didn't want to be a bother. And every time someone came in, he shrank into that corner even farther. I brought him water and Sprite, and Snickers and nuts, but he was sick and in no shape to drink or eat. So I sat with him and listened while he spoke his heart until the hotel woman demanded he go, insistent, bordering on rude. I said, can you just give us a minute? I'm just trying to help him figure this out. I asked him if he wanted to stand. Did he have somewhere to go? And he didn't, and he couldn't. So the ambulance came and questioned him. He was foaming at the mouth, his hands icy and damp. He had come seeking refuge, a place to just hole up. He wanted peace, but he needed care. And he rambled on like last rites. The EMTs took him away, and he wouldn't meet my eyes. I hope he saw me thump my chest with my fist in solidarity and in empathy of that unsolicited medical arrest. I sent him love and light. I did the best I could with what I had. And I was angry and sad on his behalf because no one cared. No one gave a damn about a raggedy homeless guy interrupting their plans. And even I had forgotten to ask his name. His name was Jonathan. His name was Jonathan. Are we really only at 3:40?
You got about 5 minutes left, honey.
Okay, 5. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. I have read faster than I intended. Staycation ship. Healed is not an address where I can live. I talked to the realtor about my needs, lay on her couch and shared. Location, 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 she said. So I gave it serious thought and consideration, booked Airbnb for a fact finding mission, packed my bags for the weekend, and left my life in stasis. The yoke and shackles of my daily routine, the habits and hurts that mark the passing of time, that familiar metronome. I was told healed is the place I should live, but I can't see how I could move when these memories need me so. They live in their house down the road, but every now and then they call in the middle of the night, fallen, broken, hurt, and I can't leave them. They've been good to me, and they were always there when I needed them. How selfish would I be just to toss them aside on a whim? They even built me a pool, cool and serene. It lulls my heart. The safety of those waters has sustained me. So don't tell me I can just pick up and go to some destination everyone talks about moving to, but never actually moves there. Who ever really becomes an expat from this place? Lip service is a field trip to healed, and we can all go together for an afternoon, sit on the front porch, sipping mineral water from the spring and reading the promotional pamphlet. We praise ourselves for such a great outing, but in the end, we all load up onto the bus in silence, lulled by sun and wind, half drunk bottles of mineral water by our sides. We return to home address and get ready for Monday, where I will sit at my desk searching Groupon for another discount weekend. I don't know how to live there, but I can visit every now and then.
Got time for one more, Shug, and then regretfully we're gonna have to say bye. So
All right. I have I will finish out with something that will show you my quirky sense of humor. This is called Dogma. I practiced my own brand of anti disestablishmentarianism when my relationship became my religion. Now that my hymnal has been repossessed, I'm somewhat confused about my dogma. Namaste, asshole. All right.
um y'all open up your mics, throw this lady some roses, please.
Yo.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah. You go, girl.
I literally had a goal to use anti disestablishmentarianism in a poem, and that was the result.
You made it.
Oh goodness.
Your heart,
Well
thank
done.
you so much. That was quite quite incredible.
Well done today.
I just want to say thank you to all of you for being here to support me. I love you all. You are all people I value greatly and hold dear. So thank you for taking your time to spend it here with us.
That said, quick little commercial for Tesoro. For those of you who don't know, we are an international women's poetry network with members in Mexico, Canada, Colombia, Portugal, England, South Africa, and Australia, as well as all over the United States. We run right now on God, grace, and good luck. So if there's something that you can do to help us continue our flow, please visit poetswind@hotmail.com on PayPal and do you, boo. Okay. 90% goes to our artists, 10% comes back to Tesoro so we can keep the lights on. This is one of the shows that we have online. Our other two open mics are Woman Heart and Pen and Sword, and those are on hiatus until September, but then we're going to come back and just start blowing things up the way we do. Please keep an eye on our website, www.firesingers.com, so you know how Tesoro women internationally are tearing up the mic at every given opportunity. Never sure where anybody is time zone wise, so I'll just say, see y'all around the way. We love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.